Welcome back to Horror Recaps. My name is Freddie, and in a moment, you're going to listen to a frightening tale narrated by me. Beware, fear awaits you. This frightening psychological thriller begins with Charlotte, a gifted cellist prodigy who had to put her career on hold to care for her ailing mother. She looks after her mother for years without thinking anything about her future and career, and now Charlotte can be seen sitting by the side of her mother, who has just passed away. After the demise of her ill mother, Charlotte reaches out to Anton, her former mentor and the director of the famous Back-Off Music School in Boston. This is the same school that Charlotte used to study at before. Anton, his two assistants Jeffrey and Thies, and his wife Paloma are currently in Shanghai. When Charlotte reaches Shanghai, she notices a poster of another cellist, Elizabeth Wells, and gets a little bit jealous. Elizabeth is the one who replaced Charlotte after she left to care for her mother. She is then called to a theater where Anton and his squad are auditioning the new cellist and providing them with scholarships to study in their school. Afterwards, we see Charlotte attending the event where she's immediately recognized by Anton and Paloma. They are overjoyed to hear from Charlotte after such a long time and invite her to join them in evaluating some young cellists who are auditioning for a position at Anton's school. Elizabeth Wells, aka Lizzie, Anton's favorite student, is one of the judges during this audition. Lizzie is still remembered as a student at the school and is now famous for being a perfect cellist. And when Lizzie and Charlotte meet, they strike up a strong friendship based on their mutual admiration of each other's talent. But while in the audition, Lizzie spies on the parents of the participants and finds them playing dirty. After the audition, Lizzie and Charlotte come across each other, and Lizzie mentions that they have met each other before. Then, Lizzie reveals that it was Charlotte who inspired her to play the cello, and moments later, she invites Charlotte outside, and the two enjoy their time with each other. After some time, they are called by Anton, who asks Lizzie to play the cello for the delegates present in the theater. Lizzie tells Anton that she will only play for them if Charlotte will be the second cellist. And after finally agreeing, the duo puts on a magical performance which impresses everyone in the audience. While they're performing, the scene transitions to where Lizzie and Charlotte are enjoying the party, dancing at the club, and being intimate with each other. After the performance, we see them lying next to each other in a hotel room. There's a similar tattoo on the shoulder of both ladies. Lizzie asks Charlotte to join her on vacation to explore the South. And without any hesitation, Charlotte accepts her request. But a few minutes later, both of them pass out after a few shots of Chinese vodka. The next day, Lizzie wakes up with a headache because of the vodka they had the night earlier. Charlotte provides Lizzie with some ibuprofen so that she could get rid of the headache and continue with their plan. Later, both of them head out to explore the south of China, while Charlotte suggests eating something before they get on the bus. They take a seat in the roadside restaurant, but the food there does not please them. The duo then leaves the restaurant and gets onto a dirty old bus to travel to the south. Despite having multiple ibuprofen, Lizzie's condition deteriorates and she continues to have severe headaches and stomach pain. Because of this, Charlotte has to request the bus driver to come to a halt that Lizzie can exit and vomit, but since the driver does not understand English, it becomes very difficult for her to persuade him to pull over. Luckily, one of the other passengers understands their situation and asks the driver to stop the bus. The driver reluctantly agrees but is irritated by the disruption to his schedule. Minutes later, Lizzie freshens up and boards the bus, but soon she starts feeling unwell again. This time she cannot control herself and tries to puke through the window, but fails to open it. And as a result, Lizzie vomits all over the window. Surprisingly, Charlotte notices something unusual with Lizzie's puke. Her puke consists of bugs, which makes the suspect that she has been contaminated with a dreadful disease. Soon, Lizzie starts shouting and crying inside the bus, banging her head on the window glass. The bus driver freaks out at this altercation and dumps both of them out of the bus, leaving the girls stranded in the middle of nowhere. Now, after walking some distance, Lizzie vomits again, and we see more bugs crawling out of her puke. Shortly after, she realizes that the bugs are crawling all under the skin of her right hand. Seeing the bugs tearing out from Lizzie's hands, both of the girls panic and start to scream. Just then, Charlotte hands Lizzie a chopper knife so she can get rid of the bugs. Left with no other alternatives, the frightened Lizzie takes the knife and chops off her hand. Shortly after, we're shown the clips of Charlotte preparing for the moment when Lizzie chops off her hand. It is then revealed that she didn't give ibuprofen to Lizzie, but supplied her with the hallucinogen pills prescribed for her mother. This was the reason why Lizzie felt insects crawling under her skin, despite her being normal the whole time. The scene then fast forwards 3 weeks, and Lizzie shows up at the back of school's gate with only one hand. Anton freaks out after seeing Lizzie in this condition. She's then taken inside, where she explains to Anton and Paloma that Charlotte is the one who made her consume the hallucinogen pills and chop off her own hand. The police also can do nothing because Lizzie's responsible for her own loss. She tells Anton that Charlotte did all of this out of jealousy and begs to be allowed back into the school. However, Anton tells her that she's of no use now, and because she can no longer play the cello, he sends Lizzie away. And on her way out of the school, Lizzie notices a framed picture of Charlotte and smashes it out of rage. In the next scene, an enraged Lizzie hunts Charlotte down in her Minneapolis home and uses a taser gun to knock her unconscious. She then ties Charlotte and drives her back to the back-off in the trunk of her car. Meanwhile, Anton is pleased to have Charlotte back and takes her inside. And after she regains consciousness, Anton inquires with Charlotte about her intentions to harm Lizzie. However, Charlotte starts explaining that she decided to do this in order to save Lizzie from his evil intentions. The scene then flashes back to the time when Lizzie's a teenager and is learning to play the perfect cello with her tutor Anton. Shortly after, we get to know that when Charlotte made a mistake playing the cello, she was tortured and sexually abused by Anton. And on top of that, Thies and Jeffrey also supported Anton in this immoral act. Back in the present, Charlotte mentions that she had to undergo various mental treatments before she could get out of the trauma that she faced at Backoff. This reveals that Charlotte's sole purpose is to save Lizzie from being abused by Anton and his crew. She mentions that she decided to help Lizzie the day she saw the musical tattoo on her back, because she knows how much trouble one should undergo to have it. Listening to all the allegations, Anton gets enraged and attacks Charlotte. She immediately tries to escape, but Anton knocks her out with a punch to her face. And when she wakes up, Charlotte finds herself dressed and tied to a chair placed at the center of the stage. Now, Anton offers her a chance to be free, but only if she can play the cello with perfection. To make it weird, Lizzie, Thies, Jeffrey, and Paloma also gather around to see Charlotte play the cello. Furthermore, Anton warns that if she misses a note, there will be a punishment, just like in the old days. However, this time she will not be the one to face the punishment, but instead, the young girl Zhongli, who has just arrived there from Shanghai. Charlotte pleads with everyone that she's not capable of playing the perfect cello like before, but no one listens to her. Now, seeing Anton placing his hands on the young girl, Charlotte is compelled to play the cello. She tries her best to not make any mistakes, but sadly, she makes a small error which Anton notices. He then urges Paloma to take Zhongli upstairs and let her sleep. After that, he addresses Charlotte and tells her that he was joking before and that she is the one who's going to be punished for her mistake. With this, Anton asks Lizzie, Jeffrey, and Thies to do whatever they like to Charlotte and notify him after she stops retaliating. In the next scene, we see that Charlotte's hands are all tied up and Jeffrey and Thies are advancing towards her. Just then, Lizzie stops them and requests that she wants to torture her first, as she's the one who ruined her life. Lizzie then asks Jeffrey and Thies to spread Charlotte's legs so that she can torture her. The two men quickly agree, and they grab Charlotte's legs and spread them. However, just before Lizzie starts the procedure, both of them collapse to the floor. Turns out Lizzie poisoned their drinks while she was asked to prepare the drink for them. And after seeing the two men collapse, Charlotte and Lizzie make out. The scene then rewinds to the time when Lizzie invaded Charlotte's apartment. There, after she tortured Charlotte with the taser gun, she found out the sick reality about Anton and his group. We're taken back to the place where Lizzie chopped off her hands. Charlotte reveals to her that she planned all of this because she wanted to save her from the curse of Anton. Furthermore, Charlotte explains that she compelled Lizzie to do so only because she wanted to save her life from the evil Anton and his group. Now, after the incident, Lizzie forgives Charlotte, and the duo plots revenge against Anton so that they can save the other girls from being tortured and abused. Meanwhile, Anton is in his room sipping some wine and waiting for others to inform him about Charlotte. Just then, the doorbell rings, and it is Paloma who enters. Anton asks her if she put Zhongli in bed, but she simply stares at him without uttering a word. And when Paloma does not answer, Anton turns back and is frightened to see her stumbling. Shortly after, Charlotte and Lizzie also arrive there and push Paloma to the ground. It turns out that the ladies had already stabbed Paloma in the back. Seeing this, Anton is shocked, and almost immediately, Lizzie steps forward with a knife in her hand to attack Anton. However, the cunning Anton tries to defend himself by pretending to be sick, but Lizzie does not listen. She then launches the first attack on him, and Charlotte joins her. But despite being outnumbered, Anton gets the upper hand, injuring both of them. He grabs a knife and attacks Charlotte, causing her to defend herself with her hands. In this process, Anton inserts the knife into her forehand and tears it apart. At the same time, Lizzie wakes up and attacks him with the chopper knife. She then repeatedly attacks Anton, letting out all of her anger and pain. In the last scene, we see Charlotte and Lizzie performing an incredible cello performance in front of Anton. Both the ladies improvise their performance, as both of them have one hand missing. And after the girls finish their performance, a mutilated Anton can be seen sitting in front of them. All of his appendages are cut off, and his eyes and mouth are sewn shut. Only his ears are open so that he can hear the girls' performance. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thank you for watching.